Hello, my name is Nick Smelko and welcome to my video tutorial on how to shoot a basketball correctly, as well as examples of how not to shoot a basketball correctly. The main components of correctly shooting a basketball can be defined in the acronym BEEF, which stands for balance, elbow, eyes, and follow through, and also by the way you hold the ball. The first component in correctly shooting a basketball with good form is your balance. Your feet should be just about shoulder width apart, and the leg on the same side as the hand you are primarily shooting with should be slightly in front of your other foot. For example, if you shoot left-handed, your left foot will be slightly in front of your right foot, and if you shoot with your right hand, then your right foot will be slightly in front of your left foot. Along with this, you want to make sure that your feet are pointed at the hoop or whatever your target is. Notice how directly behind the camera is where the hoop is, and that is where my feet are pointing. Once your feet are squared up to the basket, you need to hold the ball in a position to shoot. To do this, you want your dominant hand behind the basketball and your other hand on the side of the basketball. Your non-dominant hand is just a guide hand and should move very little during shooting, while your dominant hand is making the shooting motion. While shooting, you also want to keep the ball on your fingertips rather than on the palms of your hand. Here's another example of where to hold the ball. Notice how before he shoots, his hand is on the side and his dominant hand is right behind the ball. Also notice how his elbow is tucked in closer towards his body and his feet are pointed towards the hoop. The next component to correctly shooting a basketball is the elbow of your shooting hand. You don't want your elbow out wide. You want it straight up and down. That way when you're in the process of shooting the basketball, your entire motion is up and down and you're going all in one direction, rather than your body going up and your elbow coming across your body like it would if your elbow was out wide. Also, you want to make sure that your elbow is at or around 90 degrees. You start shooting at chest height. This way there is less motion in your shot, which makes it harder for fundamental errors to occur, and also makes your shooting motion quicker, making it harder for defenders to react and guard. The third component is your eyes. You want to make sure that you are looking at the center of the rim. This way you're focused on one singular part of the rim, and even if your shot is slightly off to the left, right, short, or long, there's still a chance of your shot going in, and no matter where you shoot from on the floor, you can still focus on that spot of the basket. Which brings us to our final component of correctly shooting a basketball, which is the follow through. The follow through is arguably the most important part of shooting a basketball. After releasing the basketball, you want to act like you're dipping your hand into the basket. This way your shot gets a good amount of backspin and if needed can help you get a better bounce off the rim. Notice how after I'm done shooting, my hand is dipped down and aimed towards the basket and my whole body is still in direction with the basket. These are examples of how not to shoot a basketball. Notice how even though he's still just getting ready to shoot, and even though his feet are pointed at the hoop, this is still bad form. Even though his feet are square, his elbow is not at 90 degrees and he's not shooting from the overhand position, which would make it very easy for defenders to defend. In this clip, he's squared up to the hoop, but when he goes to shoot right there, his arms are too far above his head. Problematic production.